Turn that down some. I'm about to just watch some videos until people come in. So,
hey man, you want to learn how to mix? Well, get you a pen and pad and sit down. What's up, YouTube? Wavy Wayne here from wavywayne.com, and I'm back at you again with another Wavy Way tip of the day. Now, today, I'm going to keep it real simple, man, because I just got a client mix that I need to work on, so I'm going to bring y'all along for the ride with me. I'm going to start this mix from top to bottom. You'll get to watch the whole process. So like I said before, get you a pen and pad and just simply watch, observe, and I'll commentate as I'm working through this mix. And yeah, man, hopefully we'll get it done pretty quick so I can get this sent off to the client, all right? If you ain't already, hit that subscribe button and make sure you go ahead and do that now and hit a thumbs up on this video before we get started. Hiya. Another thumbs up for the dab. All right. So for one, big shout out to the artist St. Lacho.
so this is Wavy Wayne mixing. I'm just watching one of his mix videos.
I just felt like sharing.
It's my first time ever watching them. So
here we go. Basically, this is the session exactly how he sent it to me. Now, there is a little bit of a rough mix, which is good because it gives me some ideas of where he wants to go with the effects and stuff in this session. So what we're going to do, the first thing that I like to do before anything else is go ahead and do a save as. Now, this is just going to make sure that nothing that I do will affect this original session, just in case we need to get back to it for some reason. Now, I'm just going to go up to the file menu here in Pro Tools and hit save as. And I'm going to call this Wavy Mix 1.0. Cool, because I like to number all of my mixes. If I end up coming back to this mix, doing the revisions or whatever, or working on it more tomorrow, then it'll be the 2.0
Heavy check mark
or
live
2.5,
online under the game music and performing arts.
The changes
the uptime begin.
So, basically, let's also now, I need to make sure that my hardware buffer size is set appropriately. So I'm going to go up to the setup menu, choose playback engine. And you see, I was doing some recording recently. So right now, the hardware buffer size is set low. I'm going to go ahead and bump that up to 1024 samples. That should be good. And we're going to hit OK. Now, again, if you're new to the channel and you haven't watched my previous videos about the hardware buffer size, basically lower hardware buffer sizes allow for less latency during the recording process, but higher hardware buffer sizes will give you more processing power, but it does increase the latency. So that means you can have more plugins and more tracks in the session while you're mixing, and you don't have to worry about the latency. But while you're recording, you definitely want to make sure that you keep that hardware buffer size low to avoid the latency. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now we good. Now let's just go ahead and listen to this track from top to bottom real quick. It's not very long, but let's just go ahead and get a vibe for what we got. And as we doing this, I'll probably go ahead and start doing some cleaning.
I came from nothing, absolutely nothing. Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have today. Cause when we pass away, all of this has to stay. I gotta keep the bad away, she can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gag spray, forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way, I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say, chingando le mix better days. Since I was about 14, I've been hustling 10 toes deep. Got an Infinity Jeep, and she's so clean, but I can't stop. Gotta put a Wraith on 3. I don't know why these boys hate on me. I'm just a Mexican getting paid, homie. I'm a Don with say so, I'm getting pesos. I got dreams of daily trips to the bank, homie. After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man. Going full throttle, and I won't be stopped, no. Till the world knows Mr. Mercado. amador, chingón, campeón. They gon' have to call me patrón. Amador, chingón, campeón.
This E-snare needs negative velocity to make the sonic equation less frivolous.
What the f are you talking about?
Sometimes it's
Cool. And that's it for the song. And I just got started on doing some editing, making sure I'm cleaning up the dead space in between the tracks. Now, of course, you can do it manually like you just saw me doing, but there is also the strip silence, you know, that I use sometimes. If I hit Command U, that'll open up the strip silence. Basically, you see how it already outlines you know, certain sections of audio here on this clip. I'm just going to raise my strip threshold up until I see only what I want to keep being outlined. And then let's see, I need to get in here a little bit more. Cool. Maybe raise it up even more because, all right, that ain't gonna get gone because of how the clip is cut. But I always add a couple milliseconds on the start and end pad as well. And then we'll go ahead and hit strip. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just manually cut that off. And this looks like that probably needs to be manually cut too. Fades on all of that. Cool. Same here. I'm just gonna go ahead and fade that up. But editing is super important. So I just select this whole clip with the strip silence window still open. All of that is actually looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and hit strip, and we're gonna just hit Command F. That's gonna bring up my universal batch fade window. And I just wanna hit 10 milliseconds on those fades, okay? Now, if I am moving fast for y'all on some of this stuff, it's because I have videos already explaining a lot of these techniques that I'm using. So if you want more in-depth techniques on certain things like using strip silence or using an EQ or compressor or anything like that that we might go over today, there are individual videos on those certain topics. But I'm just going to tackle this session as a whole and roll with it so y'all can kind of see a real time on what I would do. So I'm just cleaning this all up. I love using shortcuts, man. If you don't use shortcuts when you editing, then you tripping, blood. It probably take you all day to do edits, man. Or do you even edit, bro? Okay. See, this stuff is cool. Cool. I'm gonna get rid of some of that. If you want to be an editing ninja, let me know. Leave a comment down below. I'm thinking about doing a video soon with like my 100 most useful Pro Tools shortcuts. So if y'all want to see that, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know. I will go ahead and compile that list soon if I get enough comments. Cause it's gonna take a lot of work for me to make that whole list. So I gotta make sure you want it, baby. So I'm just going through, and I'm not really listening because I don't really have to at this point. I'm just cleaning up where I see there are lulls or, you know what I'm saying, dead spaces in this audio here, and then I'm adding some fades. Command F is the shortcut to batch fade. You just got to make a selection over the section that you want to fade. That ain't right. Get rid of all that. Look, that, boom. Okay, we're moving right along. Now, I could have used, of course, strip silence. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use strip silence for this. Strip. I'm going to strip all this because it's just taking too long. And then I'm going to just make a big selection. Oh, this one, I don't like how this got trimmed. See, that's the thing with strip silence is that sometimes you still got to go back and fix it yourself, which is cool, you know. All this automatic.
What's good, bro?
I never really trust it 100%. So you have to use your own human judgment.
How's everything with you?
In case I missed any fades. Cool. And then we got a track hear what is on this track, some very quiet stuff. Let's see, what is that even? Okay, so we got that going on, so we're gonna keep that in there. All right, cool. Now, are there any tracks that I can get rid of? Yes. So let's get rid of this record track. Let's go ahead and delete that. I like my master fader being at the end of my session, and it looks like they have all of the vocals kind of routed to this main little bus here, bus 3 and 4 or something like that, wherever that is. Okay.
Oh, that's what's up.
Here it is. So all the vocals are
I'm just chilling right now, just watching, mixing videos so people come in and want to play their music.
some compression, some more.
I'm just testing out my new setup that I got for when I stream and I do my live mixes.
Is actually route this lead vocal, because I'm going to start with the lead vocal, and then I'll work my way through everything else. So actually, let's start with the beat. I'm going to solo out this beat at like its loudest part, and I do want to, well, I guess that tempo will work, but I'm going to solo out this beat at this part when it drops in, and let's just listen to the intensity, see if we can beef it up a little bit, even though it's just a 2-track.
You working on anything new, sir?
All right, cool. So one of the things that I do want to do is make sure that my gain staging is set appropriately. So I'm going to go ahead and...
If you want me to play some beats or anything like that, I could play some beats for you that I produce.
Let's just hold shift, and I want to... We'll keep this on screen, but I'll move it off. But basically, I just want to make sure that I'm averaging. I like to leave my headroom at about -18, because ultimately I am going to make this mix a whole lot louder, and I'm going to do a bunch of molten stuff. So I got my VU meter set to -18. And again, I have a video explaining everything that y'all need to know about how to use the VU meter. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and
see, I got to start using it. Try using the VU meter.
Use the clip gain to make sure that we are...
I've been mixing so much in the box, I don't use none of the analog stuff.
All right, so what I did was just set the regular volume back to unity, because I want in case I use any plugins on this beat, I want to make sure that the actual level going into the plugins is going to be around that -18 dB.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So now if you notice, some of my kicks in that 808 within there, they actually are hitting a little bit past the 0 mark. Again, this VU meter is calibrated to -18 dB. So if the needle is jumping up to 0, that means that it's actually averaging at about -18 dB. But
yes, sir.
it's
All
going
right.
a little bit past that, and that's fine. I like for my kicks and 808s to hit a little bit harder than that. And plus, those are like the peaks. It's not really the average. We see that my average is way lower. And some stuff that I'm going to do to this 2-track beat is going to enhance it and ultimately make it louder. So one of the first things I'm going to do is go ahead and mult this beat. I'm going to start off by duplicating it. Right, and I just want to make a whole nother copy of the track. So everything is exactly the same right now. Let's mute the main one. And on the second copy, what I want to do is go ahead and squash it. I'm going to use this maximum limiter, and we're going to get a lot of, we're going to squash the hell out of this. Let's bring this down a little bit, that ceiling, and let's just hear what it sounds like once we start to compress using this maximum. All right. So using that maximum really adds some punch to that beat by squashing it down. Now what we're gonna do is just use a little bit of that in the mix. So I'm gonna turn that down, and we're gonna just add this back into the mix here with the unprocessed beat, and let's see where we at with that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's been a long time. I've been trying to work with you, so God's timing, bro. God's timing.
Yeah, I like that. And I'm going to do it before and after, where I mute it and take it out. But what we'll hear is that we are getting increased dynamics and depth by using this kind of parallel compression technique. Man, to me, it feel like the beat goes from being kind of flat to just being a whole lot taller and more dynamic and more present. So
That junk ain't really do nothing.
I get that. So we can even take this a step further and let's mold this out again, right? And basically what I'll do is go ahead and slap a EQ on here because I don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and slap an EQ. Yep, and let's mute all of this. Hopefully you guys are listening on studio monitors and maybe you even have a subwoofer. Because what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna roll off
every day. If I'm not making a beat and I'm trying to learn something or doing some type of drill for my ears, man.
On my low band. This way I can manipulate the low band of that 2-track and get some real punch out of the mix. Cool. So there's our low end isolated. And then I'm just going to go in and grab this plugin that I like called Punch. This is an Antares plugin, Evo Punch. And then I'm just going to add some flavor in there with this one knob, this gain knob. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. I like how that sounded. So now let's go ahead and do the same thing to where I mix this low end frequency in with the rest of the beat.
Yeah, he's using Pro Tools. It's weird because he's saying that he's gonna mix the beat from scratch, but it's already mixed. It look like. I mean, you got de-esser. It look like you're using the stock plugins too.
Oh yeah, now we rocking. Now let's do one.
I'm still on Pro Tools 9. I haven't upgraded my stuff yet.
I'm gonna do a similar thing. I'm just gonna duplicate this beat track one more time. So far I have 4 copies of my beat. This is the main copy. This is kind of compressed. All right, copy, and then I got my punch here, from the low end, and then we're gonna add some bite in here. From what I want to do is really isolate the snare drum on this one. So let's mute
2K.
Those 3, and I want to isolate that frequency range around the snare. So let's move that filter up here.
Let's see, talking about snap.
And
2K.
Okay, and let's see how that sounds. So that
it look like it's a newer Pro Tools. I haven't upgraded mine.
Sound like this.
I'm still on a Mac Mini, bro.
But we bring it out.
Pro Tools 9. Okay. I actually got a beat that's up right now.
Without that last track. And then let's just group these in so that we can do a quick
Where you at? I got a beat loaded right now. Still on 9. Every time you upgrade, it seems like it messes up. You ain't upgrading everything. Ain't no point of upgrading to me. That's how I feel. I haven't got there yet. One of these days. I make my beats in Ableton and I mix in Pro Tools. So this is like one of my beats right here. Yeah, I love Ableton. I used to use Reason back in the day. I used to make my beats on Pro Tools. No, I used to make my beats on a Motif, but I always mixed in Pro Tools. My uncle Kaz, I know you know. I used to work at Mad Bass too. And Zoe is the reason why I started mixing. Yeah, that's my uncle.
Hey, B.
He got me started working in his studio when I got out the military. And I was doing music when I was in the military. When I got out, I started working up there with him. Oh yeah, I need to. Eric, that whole concept was so dope.
Like what that does, and that's just working with that 2-track beat. So I feel like we good for a starting point right there. Let's actually look at our total VU meters and see where we at too. I forgot to glance over there. So if you see when that 808, that kick is hitting, we are going a little bit past that 0, but it's perfectly fine. I'm totally okay with that.
I'm trying to understand why he didn't cut none of the stuff that he was boosting on the main
vocal. All right, so let's just go ahead and start with let's just rename this track LD Vox. All right, and let's just see what we got going on there. First, again, we see that it's being routed out to this bus. I don't want that. I just want to go ahead and go straight to the main outputs. The least buses that I need to use, the better. The fewer buses that I use, the better in a mix. And the same for y'all, man. All that processing on top of processing can really do something to your mix. All right. So, where we at now?
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
All right, cool.
The recording of it is just kind of bad.
No sins on this track. Go ahead, whatever automation is on there. I don't want to use this de-esser. I have a better de-esser in mind, but I will use this auto-tune. Since he already rocking with this auto-tune, and obviously he likes the settings because he set it like this and sent it to me like that, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to keep this auto-tune just how it is and work from there. Now,
Yeah, this is a newer auto-tune.
You know, that he wants to change something.
Zoe said don't get the new auto-tune because how it is now, you can't mess with it the way you want to.
I love the Fab Filter Pro Q3, but you can use
I love that EQ
if you want to. And obviously, I'm just going to start off with rolling off these low frequencies.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
All right, and then we're a little bright on the high end too, so I'm going to take some of that off.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
What do you want, Malachi?
Cool. And now that I cleaned it up, right? We basically just cleaning it up with that EQ. Ain't doing nothing too crazy.
Just put Ninja Turtles on.
Go now and use my de-esser. I'm gonna use the Massey de-esser.
Y'all can go in your room and he can put on Ninja Turtles right there.
Turn this reduction up until it sounds good.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
We use May.
I'ma put my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my...
All right, cool. Now let's just go ahead and go to some multi-band compression, man. Just as simple as that. If you're taking longer than that with your de-essing, then you need to get another de-esser. All we doing is de-essing, bro. All right, now... This is where we start to have some fun. This is one of my favorite multi-band compressors.
Multi-band compressor.
DSP is included with the MC2000, the ML2000 collection. But basically, it's a multi-band, 4-band multi-band compressor. And I
think I have that.
With adjusting my low end on here. And you'll see how I work through compressing this vocal.
I got to keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
So when I get that low end, I pretty much squash it with the threshold pretty hard. And then I adjust the crossover point until it sounds, until I don't want it to sound like it's doing too much effect on the vocal to where I'm taking too much of the lows out, but I do want a good amount. So I was like kind of take it too far and then back it off.
I got to keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
Cool. And now let's move on to the high frequency, right? I'm just going to do a similar thing here.
I got to keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say.
Cool. Now let's attack the low mids and the high mids.
I got to keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past to say. I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away.
All right, cool. Now we got a pretty even vocal tone to work with, and now it's all about adding some flavor. So the flavor that I want to go with for
But
this
he
mix, I want to
compressed.
go with the distressor.
He DS first.
And I do
he
have this
cut
vocal
DS.
muted, I mean solo while I'm doing this because I'm gonna bring it in and we're gonna make some more adjustments. But I do want to kind of see where we at with this vocal. Now with the distressor, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it in opto mode. So I'm gonna 10 to 1, and then the 10 on the attack and 0 on the release will get me there. And I just want to knock off maybe 1, 2 to 3 dB. Up to 3 dB is what I usually do with this.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray, forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy said. Chingandole makes better days.
All right, cool. So we sounding pretty good and full. Let's go ahead and bring this in with the beat and work from there.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray, forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy said. Chingandole makes better days. I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray, forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy said. Chingandole makes better days.
Cool, that sounds pretty dope. So let's go from there. Next, what I'll do with this vocal. So actually, let's go ahead and I'm gonna keep on working with this lead vocal for now. I guess the next thing that I would do is add some secret sauce, like maybe go and put the Saturn plug in from FabFilter. I love adding a little saturation on this.
Saturn? I think I have that.
Oh, that's because I'm on the Sans. Duh. All right, so let's go here.
You can search.
Saturn FabFilter, Saturn 2. Bing, 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 bing. Make sure that if y'all copying any of these plugins or any of the hardware or software that y'all see me use, please use my Sweetwater code, man. I got a link down in the description that'll help out the channel if you shopping with Sweetwater and you use that link, all right? So now with the FabFilter, I basically got a secret preset, and if you want this preset, man, you got to join the Wavy Seals Elite. But basically, I'm just gonna go up here to the Wavy Adam. Shout out to my guy Adam Long, who helped me to create this preset. We worked on this one. He actually, developed it, and then I had to transfer it and all that. But yeah, it's a dope little preset. So, but the FabFilter Saturn, let's just listen to what we doing before and after.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray, forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingandole makes better days.
To me, his vocals sound very thin.
We headed, man. We headed in the right direction. So now
It may not be fully
It's the limited Z. It's a limiter. There's just something cool that this does on the vocal. So I'm gonna set the ceiling to -1, and then I'm just using a preset on here. We just gonna use the aggressive mode. Let's just see what happens.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes.
Boy, that was dope. This plug-in right here alone just took that vocal from an 8 to about a 9.5, and we're gonna take it up to the other step in a second.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray, forget about everything the past to say. But
all right, now I think I am going to increase the auto-tune speed a little bit. Let's just see what happens.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray, forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingando.
Normally, what I do is if I get somebody's stuff like that, save it as their preset for that song. Have your starting point.
I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingandole makes better days.
That limiter did make his vocal
she can get easily carried away.
It did make it fuller, I can say, for that one.
So I noticed that it started to sound a little bit latent like I was dealing with some latency, and then I noticed that if I go up to the options menu, my delay conversation isn't turned on. Now, this definitely happens sometimes, especially when you're working on other people's sessions coming from their system. So just make sure you keep a note of that. I've been in a situation before to where I didn't notice that the delay compensation was off. It just felt like the timing of everything was off. And so what I ended up doing was nudging everything. And then later I found out that it's all because of delay compensation. And man, did I tell you I wasted so much time. So don't do that. Don't be like, always check and make sure that your delay compensation is turned on. So let's just hear where we at now.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas spray, forget about everything the past has say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingándole makes better days. Since I was about 14, I've been hustling 10 toes deep. Got an infinite TG, bitch, she's so clean, but I can't stop. Gotta put a Wraith on creep.
All right, cool. So now I feel like we're getting a little bit of that kind of low mid. So I'm gonna go back into my multi-band and hit that low mid section a little harder.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas spray, forget about everything the past has say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingándole makes better days.
All right, cool. Now, let's just go ahead and put some of the final touches on here. I love this punch plug-in again, so I'm going to add that on there again, and let's just see what that gets us.
I got to keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I want to grab the gas spray, forget about everything the past has say. But I found me a better way. I'm going to pour my heart out on these.
That's hurting my ears. That frequency just bothering me.
All right, cool. Now you see, we sounding pretty good. The vocals are still very dry, no reverb or delay or anything that's been added. So what I am gonna do now is just pretty much copy these effects over to this other track. And you know what? It'd be the easiest way is to just go ahead and duplicate this lead track, and then I'll make the adjustments as needed. But it seemed like he just doing fill-ins here, so they should be pretty much the same.
Better days since I was about 14. I've been hustling 10 toes deep. Got it.
Cool. Let's get rid of this other track we don't need.
Better days since I was about 14. I've been hustling 10 toes deep. Got an infinite TG, bitch, she's so clean, but I can't stop. Gotta put a Wraith on creep. I don't know why these boys hate on me. I'm just a Mexican getting paid, homie. I'm a Don would say so, I'm getting pesos. I got dreams of daily trips to the bank, homie. After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man. Going full throttle.
All right, cool. Now let's go for this this double section right here that we got. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna duplicate that track that I started with, and we'll adjust from there. I think this one will need some adjustment though.
After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man.
All right, cool. Let's go and see what we can do here. I know that I'm gonna want to squash that mid-range a little bit more and kind of just focus on kind of the highs a little bit on this section.
After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man. Going full throttle and I won't be stopped, no, till the world knows Mr. Murder.
Yeah, and then on our actual EQ, let's just go ahead and roll more lows off as well to make that fit in a little better.
After 10 years,
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
brand new man. Going full throttle.
Just trying to give good quality, good music, all well around. So I appreciate you letting me know.
That's hard. That's hard. Once we get to that section, I can't wait to get there. All right, bet.
After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man. Going full throttle and I won't be stopped, no, till the world knows Mr. Murder.
All right, cool. So now for this track,
There's something hurting my ears with this vocal.
Chorus effect on here because I want to spread it out some. So I'm gonna go to the doubler, and I like this basic doubler effect.
After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man. Going full throttle and I won't be stopped, no, till the world knows Mr. Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. I'm a dog. Chingo.
All right, cool. And then so we're gonna continue this. You know, we moving fast, but this is how I like to roll when I got that flow. So, and I'm working through the session. So here we go. These ad libs, I'm gonna bring this down. We're gonna work on those in a minute. But let's just go ahead and get this next section again.
How was your day?
No need to reinvent the wheel. I'm just gonna pick up where we left off, and if anything needs to be adjusted with the vocals, then I'll do that. Well, that one we definitely got to make some adjustments because we can't have this doubler on there.
I'm a dog, knows Mr. Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. Knows Mr. Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. I'm a dog, chingo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up and see if I got this. I'm gonna check this out. With Jeremiah, Malachi. I'm about to go to bed.
Cool. Now I feel like I'm at the point to where I'm ready to start bringing in some of my effects, man. So I want to hear like some reverbs and delays and stuff now, especially on this section. And I have some other kind of widening techniques that I like to use. But basically, I'm just going to go to another session because it's kind of like a template for me. This is a session that I've already been working on, and these are tracks that were just used in that session. So I'm just going to bring them right over here, and they got my reverbs and delays and stuff already set up. So that's going to save me a bunch of time here. That's why I like to use my templates and such like that. We're just going to make sure all those outputs are right. And I know that with this one of these tracks is hidden. Let's go ahead and make that active. So let's just see, man. Obviously, you know, when you are using a template or making adjustments from a template or a starting point from another session, you're going to have to keep in mind that you might have to change some stuff, and that's perfectly fine. It's never going to be a set it and forget it.
When I first started making music, I just used to send loads of links from SoundCloud to kind of expose it to as many people as possible. In the early days, I was always DMing producers and sharing tracks and stuff like that. So SoundCloud made it super easy for me to collab. I just think the fact that I've discovered SoundCloud existed in the first place was a life-changing moment for me.
Ready to go to bed? Yeah. Almost done watching this and then we're gonna go to bed. Alright? You better choose the movie you wanna watch. Watch Ninja Turtles.
Knows Mr. Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. I'm a dog.
All right, cool. So let's actually start at the beginning again. So one of the things that I did here, if you notice, I got these. This is my parallel compression chain. I'm using 5 tracks of parallel compression, and you can see what plugins I'm using: Maxim and a few 1176 style plugins. Now, if you want to see exactly what I do with that in the breakdown, you're gonna have to join the Wavy Seals Elite. That's a top secret information. I can't show y'all nothing more than this. You got to figure the rest out on your own or join the Wavy Seals Elite. Hit me up if you want more details about that. You know the link is in the description, but that's a top secret method right there, all right? So I'm gonna start off with my lead vocal, and I'm gonna send over to that parallel compressed chain.
I came from nothing, absolutely nothing. Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have to.
Whoop, wrong. I sent it to the wrong track. I meant to send it to this.
I came from nothing.
Whoa.
Absolutely nothing. Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have today. Cause when we pass away, all of this has to stay. I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gag and spray. Forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingándole makes better days. Since I was about 14.
How you doing?
Absolutely.
You know what? Let's go with this other.
Oh boy.
Got some reverb now.
I came from nothing, absolutely nothing. Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have today.
UAD.
Pass away, all of this has to stay.
I have that one, but I don't have this version of it.
Absolutely nothing. Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have today. Cause when we pass away, all of this has to stay. I gotta keep the bad away.
Now, when I'm finding reverb, I like to have it turned all the way up, and I'm just listening to where something feels comfortable, and I'll adjust it from there.
I came from nothing, absolutely nothing. Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have today. Cause when we pass away, all of this has to stay. I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gag and spray. Forget about everything the past to say. But I found me a better way. I'ma put my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingándole makes better days. I came from nothing, absolutely nothing.
Malachi, turn that down.
Still ain't got a whole lot, but shit is something. Got to thank the Lord for what we have today.
Thank you.
Cause when we pass away, all of this has to stay.
Huh?
Sometimes I wanna grab the gas.
Play it. What number is on?
All right, cool. Now I'm gonna go and lock in the tempo because he got a tempo of 144 in here. But
Okay, that's fine.
Time. I just want to make sure it's accurate. So let me just solo this.
Put it back on 8. Put it back on 8.
To lock the tempo.
Put it back on 8.
Make sure that obviously my delays are gonna be perfectly in time.
Yeah, 8. 8 was better. 3 is good too. 3 is good. 3 is good. 3 was good. Yeah, that's loud. I can hear it.
Cool. If you need a tutorial on how to use Identify Beat, again, tempo using Identify Beat. This tempo, see, he was totally off because the tempo is only 60 beats per minute. Even if it was double time, it would have been 120. So let's just go with 60. And we're going to change this into bars and beats. Change that into 1 bar. Cool. Now when I put this delay on, we're going to sound better.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily.
All right, cool. If you need a tutorial on how to use Identify Beat, again, I have that. Just search my channel, how to find the tempo using Identify Beat. This tempo, see, he was totally off.
Sometimes I wanna grab the gas spray. Forget about everything the past.
All right, cool. Now I'm gonna go and lock in the tempo because he got a tempo of 144 in here, but that's gonna be double time. I just want to make sure it's accurate. So let me just solo this beat out and use Identify Beat to lock the tempo in to make sure that obviously my delays are gonna be perfectly in time. All right, cool. If you need a tutorial on how to use Identify Beat, again, I have that. Just search my channel, how to find the tempo using Identify Beat. This tempo, see, he was totally off because the tempo is only 60 beats per minute. Even if it was double time, it would have been 120. So let's just go with 60. And we're going to change this into bars and beats. Change that into 1 bar. Cool. Now when I put this delay on, we're going to sound better.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna go.
All right, cool. Now for this, I think I want to add some reverb to the delay.
I don't know.
Let's see what this sounds like. And I don't want to mix it in too much. We're going to keep it at that hall. And then I'm going to put an EQ after that as well to roll off definitely some high frequencies and definitely some low frequencies. Let's see what we sounded like.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past has say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingandole makes better days.
I like that. It fills it up. It gives it a vibe, right? That's all that one is doing, and I'm keeping it on the whole time. It is creating a vibe in that mix. Let's roll off a little bit more of those high frequencies to make sure it's tucked in the back.
I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past has say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingandole makes better days. I gotta keep the bad away. She can get easily carried away. Sometimes I wanna grab the gas and spray. Forget about everything the past has say. But I found me a better way. I'ma pour my heart out on these 808s. Listen to what my daddy say. Chingandole makes better days. Since I was about 14, I've been hustling 10 toes deep. Got an Infinity Jeep, and she's so clean, but I can't stop. Gotta put a Wraith on creep. I don't know why these boys hate on me. I'm just a Mexican getting paid, homie. I'm a Don would say so, I'm getting pesos. I got dreams of daily trips to the bank, on me. After 10 years, stuck on that bottle, I'm a brand new man. Going full throttle and I won't be stopped, no. Till the world knows Mr. Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. I'm a dog.
Yeah, that part is gonna be fun. I'm gonna, let's say, obviously we're gonna do a long delay.
Mercado. They gon' have to call me.
Let's put this secret sauce on there on my bus 15. Let's go with that plate. And then let's start off with this. Then let's see where we at.
Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. I'm Mercado. They gon' have to call me patron. I'm a dog. Chingo.
All right, cool. So let's use a whole nother